Explore the complex dynamics of human movement and spine stability.
Is to instruct people how to use the book, so that we align them, and then we say your prescriptive for this morning was this point here, this joint didn't move so well, these points here, so I want you to pull your ear, I want you to do some cross crawl, I want you to rub these points, and that will maintain you to the point that you'll start to normalise your whole system. So that's why the whole system is together. That's how it works. So we are also going to observe this. Now, when we look at that, the one with the femur head on, that's fallen apart, it doesn't matter. So one of the things I've discovered, and has been researched as well, is
spine's got a femur.
Oh, right, we'll use that one. So yeah, is the femur heads here. Now, as we evolved to being an upright being, the ligaments at the back of the femur heads had to become very much more stronger, and we also had to change the angle of which the femur head fitted into the ball and socket joint. And so our femurs slightly align us inwards. They don't come straight down. Now, if you look at a chimpanzee or an ape, their femur heads and their femurs point straight down because they haven't got this new angle on the femur head. Now, what this does is that pulled the pelvis back into a more upright position. And what happened then is, to make adaptations to that, to make us upright, we had to develop a lumbar curve, and then we had a dorsal curve, which is the blue one, and then a cervical curve, which is the red one. So the upright spine has three curves in it for upright stability, and the way that the muscles are arranged around the spine, and I mentioned last week, they're called the multifidus. Multi meaning many. There's lots of them, tiny, about an inch long, and they join between 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5 vertebrae, and then the next one's interlaced there, and then the next one's interlaced there. So they're all overlaying. So it forms a whole sleeve of tiny muscles that respond and co-contract at different phases of movement. Now, that's important because when we've got the lumbar curve and I want to move, then one arm on one side of the body is going to swing and the leg on the opposite side is going to swing. And so basically what I'm doing is I'm producing rotational curves in the upright spine to produce movement. And the dynamics of that actually come more from the lumbar spine than anywhere else. This is our power base. So if this is my power base and I'm using a system called the autonomic nervous system, which just allows me to walk, my arms swing, I'm good in balance, I can jump, I can do all kinds of things. And that system's working well. The muscles work physically, like we talked about earlier, and just basically co-contract to produce a pendular swing. So when you walk, your arm just swings, your legs just swing. Now, when that system is compromised, because this joint has gone out of place, the fifth lumbar gyrocompass is no longer telling the brain for the eyes to be level. We're now making adaptations. Now, that might not be a big adaptation at first, but it's an adaptation. That adaptation means that the normal resting position of the two phasic muscles is one's tighter than it should be, another one's slacker. That's keeping it very, very simple because this is multiplied right throughout the body. But that means that when I walk, I'm using some muscularization now and not just free swinging pendulum motion. That results in less motion of the joint. It results in ligament tension. It results in lactic acid building up in there. And so I get inflammatory markers, which now give me pain or inflammation. So you see that taking an anti-inflammatory agent just tells the brain, forget that. The brain says, no, I can't forget, I've got to make these adaptations. And so we go down the road and down the road and down the road.